Okay, so now we're ready to start building out the third of our three statements, which is the statement of cash flows. And believe it or not, we actually have all the information that we need already at our disposal. We're just going to be pulling information from the income statement and the balance sheet using something called the indirect method to get this done. Now, I see this overcomplicated all the time. Once you know how to do this, it's going to change the way that you model forever because you will know how to do it the right way. After we've calculated the ending cash on our statement of cash flows, it should match exactly what is up here on the balance sheet, and that's how we know that we've done it correctly. It's also why I always like to build the statement of cash flows in the historical period first, because if I can do it right in the past, then I know it's definitely correct when I drag it forward into the future. So let's go ahead and start mapping out the section. I'm going to copy my header from the balance sheet. I'm going to press Shift and Spacebar, Control C, come down to here to where I have some room, Shift and Spacebar again, Control V, and I'm just going to relabel the header to the statement of cash flows. Now, the statement of cash flows is broken down into three sections: cash from operations, cash from investing, cash from financing. In this video, we're just going to start with the cash from operations. So let's go ahead and type that in: cash from operations. And the first part of this is the net income. So this is something we're going to pull directly from the income statement, excuse me. Now, what I like to do when I have subcomponents here, I do like to indent them a little bit, just like I have on the balance sheet here. We don't need to add a bunch of spaces. There's a shortcut key for this. You can press Alt, H, and 6, and you can see now it's nicely indented. Visually, I know it is a subcomponent of the cash from operations, but I'm not adding arbitrarily a bunch of spaces. And so where is our net income going to come from? I'm going to go over here to column G, and this is going to become our notes column. So let's actually go up to cell G3 and type in notes. And let's just make sure that this entire column is italicized. So Control Spacebar, I'm going to press Control I once or twice, just to make sure, okay, the entire column is italicized. This is a great way, just as an indicator as you're scrolling through the model, to know, well, how did somebody build something, or where did this information come from? So our net income is going to just come from the income statement. See the income statement. And let's go ahead and link to it directly. We're actually going to be starting in February, not January, because when it comes to taking differences in the balance sheet, we need two periods. So we can only start our statement of cash flows in February. So let's go ahead and grab the net income first. So equals, I'm just going to scroll up to my net income. And then from there, we need to add back the depreciation, because depreciation is a non-cash expense and we're trying to figure out the cash. So I can press Control D to bring down the formatting here from my net income row and just type in depreciation. And that is also going to come from the income statement. So I can press Control D here to bring down my note, and let's go find that. Equals the depreciation, which is right here. Now, believe it or not, that's all we need from the income statement, and we're pretty much done. Now we need things from the balance sheet, and we're going to be calculating the changes between the two periods. So except for the cash, we're going to calculate the changes in all of these other accounts, and that's going to get us to the ending cash number. And so in the cash from operations, we're going to be leaving out anything related to investing. So that would be fixed assets as well as financing. So we'll be excluding the revolver and the senior debt as well as the equity section. So it's just basically the non-cash current assets and current liabilities. And so let's build a formula down here. Equals, we're going to do quote and then change in, end quote, and then the ampersand. And now we can link this to rows in our balance sheet and have it change automatically. So it's just a nice little shortcut. The first is the change in the accounts receivable. I'm going to go click on that and hit enter. And I can copy my formatting here. Control C, Alt EST for formats. And now I have that nice indentation. The change in the accounts receivable is just the last period minus the current period. So let's go ahead and do that now. Equals, scroll up to where I have my accounts receivable, last period minus the current period. Again, this is the indirect method. So we don't know exactly when cash came in or out, but this is how we use the three statements and the accounting equation to effectively back into what our cash was. So now let's keep going. I can press Control D. Again, the beauty of this formula is now this cell reference has dropped down to inventory. It's the same idea for all assets. Last period versus current period, I can press Control D, press Control D again here in the formula. F2 to look at it. I've got last period minus current. All good there. Let's keep going. Control D, change in prepaid expenses. It's right there. Same formula. Last period minus current. Last period minus current. I can press Control D. Take a look at this. and it is my previous period minus the current period for prepaid expenses. Fixed assets is going to go in cash from investing, so we can skip that for now. I am, however, going to drag this down, Control D, excuse me. We're going to flip over to now the current liability. So I'm going to hit F2 and just move this down to the accounts payable and hit enter here. Now, when you flip over to the liabilities and equity side of the indirect method of the statement of cash flows, then you're doing current period minus last period. So this is the methodology for the indirect method. So now I'm going to do equals, go up to my accounts payable, current period minus last period. Hit enter there. And now let's keep going down. We've got taxes payable, accrued bonus, and accrued expenses. So I'm going to press Control D. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, revolver's too much. So 1, 2, 3. All the same formula, current period minus last, and then all the same formula here. So Control D, current period minus last. I'm just going to take a look at this. F2. That is my accrued expenses. Everything else on my balance sheet, so the fixed assets, the revolver and the senior debt, and the contributed capital or the distributions are going to end up in different sections of my statement of cash flow. So I can come down here now. This is the total cash from operations. Total cash from operations. Note I've got that placeholder row here because there may come a time when I have to add something new. I can go here and I can build a top border. Click up to the border menu, top border here, and I can now sum this up with Alt equals. And just like that, I have my total cash from operations. Again, we are using the indirect method, and we're just extracting information that we already have on the income statement and the balance sheet. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to keep moving on to the next section, the cash from investing.